Ivan, black paint can be intimidating to polish.
It shouldn't be. Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. Today, we're gonna show you how to polish and protect black paint quickly, easily, safely, and while having fun.
Surely black paint must be the most difficult paint of all, right? It's made differently, so it's harder to get shiny?
No, so black paint is the same as white paint, is the same as purple paint. In the factory, the paint color is different, but what we're polishing, the clear coat on top, is the same. They don't change clear coat for every different color car.
So what's the mystique around black paint? Why is it such a bear to get shiny?
When we had single stage paint and we were finishing with rotaries, black was the color that showed you whether you were good at polishing or you needed to learn a little more. Today's clear coat, not as much. And using a dual action machine, what we'll be using here, 25mm stroke DA, we're gonna amp up the gloss, we're gonna round over some of these scratches, we're gonna give it a brilliance that it hasn't seen since it left the factory.
Ivan, I think we should look at the paint under the lights.
Yeah.
And see some of these scratches. So you know at home, what do I go after and what do I just leave alone? Because that's a big thing. Unless you're a professional detailer, you may not know the difference and you may want to go after everything, and that's kind of a fool's errand.
Right, so we have some deeper scratches. This one here, that's down past the clear coat. That's down into the paint. We're not gonna remove that scratch.
How about some of these over here? If we can come over here. These are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to, I mean, I might wet sand these out, but that's something I would never recommend as an easy DIY method, nor is it safe.
No, it's not safe. Every time we polish paint, we remove paint, meaning that you're never removing a scratch from paint. You're removing the clear coat, or the paint, whatever you want to call it, from around that scratch down to the depth of the scratch. Meaning, every time we polish a vehicle, we're damaging a vehicle.
What's wrong with removing the clear coat? I mean, I seriously, like, if it's gonna make it look better, why should I care?
It's gonna look better, but your car's not gonna last as long. You're gonna damage your paint, and the paint is actually the most expensive part of this car. It costs less to replace the engine in this BMW than it does to repaint it.
Okay, so we do wanna be a little careful.
Right.
And manage our expectations around what is it we're actually going after?
We're going to make it glossy, we're gonna make it shiny, and unless you're looking at it with a light like this, you won't see the defects anymore.
I hear a lot about test spots.
Yeah.
Car enthusiast out there might say.
Yes.
Why not do a test spot? It seems like Ivan's already made up his mind.
Well, we can do a test spot, but test spots take time. And if you're a professional detailer, you want to have a simple, easy system that does the job. Also, if you're a hobbyist, we know that this is safe, it's easy, it's repeatable, and you can do this.
Safe with a capital S.
Yes.
Don't be afraid of this if you're new. It will bring you shinier paint. It will not remove all the scratches, but the results will come with a safe guarantee.
Yeah.
Pretty much a guarantee?
Right, and one thing that Nick said, it's not gonna remove all the scratches. Once again, you never remove a scratch through polishing. You instead remove the clear coat around the scratch down to the level of the scratch. So if you think of it that way, yeah, the scratches won't seem so bad to you.
Right.
We're trying to preserve as much as we can. We're not trying to perfect. This is a almost 10-year-old daily driver that goes through a car wash on a rather regular basis.
So I was gonna say the wool pad. It sounds like you're talking about our yellow waffle pad.
Well, we always tell people if you're gonna have one pad, that's the pad to have. And this is a pretty beat up paint. We want to show you what that gold pad can do with the 25mm DA in just 3 simple passes.
We've done a lot of talking, Ivan. Can we get to the doing?
Yes, let's go for it. When it comes to doing this, Nick and I have 2 slightly different strategies. We end up at the same result, but I like to do a panel, wipe the panel off, and I'm done with it. Nick likes to leave it all on, then come back and wipe it after. We're both right. It's both a good way to do it.
Well, the gold standard polish works forever, and you can leave it on for a long time and just wipe it off. It's not a problem to leave it on the paint for a couple hours. The worst case scenario, you go get lunch or whatever. So I'll just leave it on. I know where I've been. I know where I've been. It helps me keep track. That's why I leave it on until the end.
Yeah, I'm used to being extremely methodical. So for me, it's easy to know where I've been. I've been doing this and it's muscle memory for so many years that it's not a problem.
You know, I like to do a test spot. I know this is a great combo, but let's just see what it's giving us first.
Yeah.
Never a bad idea. Speed 3, our cord-free dual action machine, no pressure, overlapping passes, up, down, left, right, up, down.
Now, I see, Nick, you're putting a lot of weight on that polisher.
I was gonna say, this is why it's safe.
Yeah.
It's just the weight of the machine, right? And people are gonna wanna do this and get the heat on the paint, and that's not how we teach it.
No, heat is never your friend when you're polishing. Rinseless dampened towel.
Yeah, why am I wiping with a rinseless dampened towel, Ivan? The folks out there may not be used to that.
Breaks down the polishing oils and makes the wiping that much easier.
Take a dry towel from you, sir. Okay. Now, what am I looking for here?
Well, you'll see an immediate increase in gloss from what you had before. What do you see? What do you feel, too?
I'm gonna get it nice and dry here.
Yeah. So your reflection is looking great from here.
I was gonna say, what do you see, Ivan?
Well, from here, it looks spectacular. You've increased the gloss, you've amped it up, it's looking so much nicer.
So take a look at the light. I'm pointing to it here, and I know you can't see scratches, but I want you to just follow the light and look at the clarity of it. So as we continue to move toward Ivan on the hood, it'll look a lot duller. I think I noticed it right about there.
Yep.
And then we'll bring it back, and it starts to get just a slightly more clear look.
Yeah.
From 10 feet away, this is gonna be a much glossier car.
Right. We're not going for perfection here. That's not what we're aiming for. We're aiming to bring up the gloss, make it look that much better, and we're gonna be adding protection. Now, you didn't use any ceramic gloss there.
I didn't, that was my test spot. The
Right.
way we would normally teach this is while it's still wet. So I
Damp.
just wiped off.
Not wet.
Damp, yep. I've just wiped it off. It's almost like, oh my gosh, I just washed the car. I'm
Now,
gonna use my drying
can you
aid.
pass me your rinseless dampened towel there?
Is it too damp?
When we say rinseless dampened, yeah, this is a rinseless dampened towel.
All right, so let's try that again. So you've wiped off your polish with a rinseless dampened towel, not a rinseless wet towel.
Yeah.
Then you do your ceramic gloss spray. Just one.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more spray on the next one because I just got that primed. But that's gonna add a little gloss. It's gonna smell real nice too, Ivan.
Yeah, and it makes the drying easier.
Okay. And that's just a really rich glow. I love that.
Yeah. So
This goes very quickly. We're just doing that test spot to show you.
right. You know, this is sort of a 101 type thing. You know, if you're a beginner and you're intimidated by polishing black paint, don't be intimidated. For me, it's my favorite and the easiest paint to polish because you see the results.
It's
a
super
white paint
rewarding.
or a silver paint, yeah, much more difficult.
Yeah, it's super rewarding at the end.
Yeah.
Ivan, you're gonna give them a little point of view perspective with this body camera you're
Yeah,
wearing.
I've got a little body cam here.
What is that?
Well, we'll see if it works. We're just testing it out. So if it works, great. You'll sort of get a point of view thing.
What is that?
Well, I saw this on a couple of our friends' channels, on Josh V and on Cars with Keeve. It's a little sprayer that Ryobi makes, and it's a little battery that's very interchangeable, and I have a lot of lights that actually go with this in our bus. They're very convenient. So instead of using a spray bottle like this, I'm always trying to be more efficient. So instead of wetting my pad like this, I can wet my pad like this.
Oh, with rinseless wash for the pad wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have rinseless wash in there, and then I can clean my pad. One spray of the gold standard. Not two, not three, just one is all we need. And then off we go.
You're ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Okay. A quick word to the wise. I once polished the color out of a BMW emblem on an older BMW.
Yep.
Be very careful with these. You'd never do know.
Same thing with a Mercedes. You'll get a nice silver emblem.
I'd like to ask you about section sizes and section passes. For this kind of technique where we're just going for gloss, usually we teach like a 2x2. Stay within your solder section.
Yeah.
But the gold standard polish will kind of go forever. So what's the wisdom for the folks at home?
So one spray, I did the whole hood, but I stayed in a section the width of my shoulders, then I moved over to do the next section. So you don't want to be reaching. Think of ergonomics. And one thing you can do, set up a camera, your cell phone will do the job, and just watch yourself. And if you see yourself in postures like this, or over like this, or down like that, it's not a good thing. Try to stay centered. Don't go wider than your shoulders. Don't be stretching. Don't be overreaching yourself, because that's when you hurt yourself.
Okay.
The reason I opened the door is because I wanted to show you the difference what a few seconds polishing can make on these B-pillars. It's a striking difference. It's very easy. And you'll notice we have a reckless abandon for polishing trim. We actually prefer to polish the trim. We want to polish the trim because we're going to remove the oxidation from the trim and make it much cleaner, make it much brighter, and protect it with the ceramic gloss. Now we're using the foam pad. The wool pad, though, you want to stay away from trim.
Ivan, what about polishing under door handles? How do you do that when you only have a 6-inch pad?
It actually fits in there quite nicely from the top and from the bottom, but if you can't get it in there, just put a bit of polish on your microfiber towel and away you go.
Just rub in there?
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people in detailing, Nick, have what I call analysis paralysis. They overanalyze stuff so much that it stops them from actually doing the work.
Sometimes you just gotta...
Get in there and do it.
Yeah, get in there and do it. That's a perfect way of putting it.
Don't overthink it. Use the tools at your disposition. And no, you don't need to buy the fanciest of tools. It's not the tool that does the work, it's the person polishing. It's the person holding the tool that decides the outcome. Just want to show you, I've done a side by side here. So I did the front door, and look at the back door. See how much grayer that looks? And when we move it to the other door, the light, we see the light. We don't see the big halo around the light. And when that's in the sun, this is going to look brighter and deeper.
So different strategies here. Ivan is just about done, it seems like. I don't speak for him. I'm now starting to wipe off. So it kind of feels like I'm behind, but it kind of feels like I'm ahead. Ivan, thoughts? Where are you at back there?
It's not a race. And yes, I'll probably finish before you, but that's normal. I have, let's say, a couple years more experience. And I move slower than you do. So it's natural that I finish first.
Something like that.
Moving fast doesn't mean you'd get the job done quickly.
That's such a good point.
The slower you move, the faster you work.
So I got that hood wiped down. Probably do, what? Maybe a spray or two for the hood.
That sounded like 5, but anyway.
Well, here's what I did. I did 2 for the half of the hood. And then for the front bumper, my side, I also did 1 little spray.
Oh, okay.
So, I think it'll work out just fine. Ooh, I love that smell. I love that shine.
Yeah, ceramic gloss does have a beautiful fragrance to it.
And less really is more when you're doing the ceramic gloss as well, am I right?
Very much so.
Why is that?
Well, the ceramic protection in it causes you to maybe have a little overabundance of it. And when you do that, it becomes harder to wipe off. And you can get streaking. Now, if you do get streaking, if you've, as some people so eloquently put it, nicked the panel.
Oh, is that what they call it now, huh?
I've heard that a couple times. You know, whenever we launch a video, we do it as a premiere. So you can go on YouTube and you can chat with us live with about 150 other people as well, just watching the video, chatting about the video, and they will point out when Nick is nicking a panel.
You know, there's people who are on my side.
Oh yes.
Who also enjoy a little bit extra, just for fun.
A little bit extra for fun, but sometimes it gives you a lot extra work.
No, it actually does. It really does. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and so have other people. So yeah, if I can help you learn through my mistakes or inefficiencies, I'm happy to do so.
Now, I did realize that I did miss a part.
I haven't missed a spot.
That is the front bumper. Because I'm so used to washing and ending with the front bumper that I did the same in polishing.
Guess where I ended?
Front bumper.
Front bumper. We've been working together a while. Yeah, when we first started, I would have done like 3 sprays per panel for this step. And now it's 1 spray a panel. That's all you need.
Definitely all you need.
You kind of got me sold on this method, Ivan. The hood is looking very glossy.
Yes. Again, we haven't made new paint out of this. We've just improved what was there without damaging what was there. Some people insist that you need a 3-inch polisher to be able to do this. And you'll see I can get in just about everywhere with a 6-inch that anyone else can get in with a 3-inch. Because yes, my pad is overlapping a little bit. Not a big deal. No need to worry about it. Because it's a 3-inch base doesn't mean you need a 3-inch polisher. Nick, looks like you're scheming on something because you're awfully quiet over there.
Well, I'm just thinking like I'm gonna chip off the old block from Ivan here. I'm working my upper sections efficiently, and when I'm done with that, I'm gonna get on my little creeper and do the lower section. I'm actually thinking of how proud I am of myself for kind of just working in sections, using 1 spray, very minimal where I need it, and it's actually coming along swimmingly over here.
Well, when I first showed you this method, off camera, you said, I hate it. It's so much work.
It's because I use too much ceramic gloss, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I said, well, just keep up and you'll eventually come to it. And yes, he did.
The only thing I don't like about this method is, for all the work it takes to polish, you may as well ceramic coat at the end. That's the only thing. It's like, it almost seems like a shame to not do the ceramic coating.
Right.
Because the ceramic coating is not hard at all, and the polishing's already done. We've prepped it, right? We've cleaned it well.
We've done all the prep, and that is something a lot of professional detailers have an issue with is they'll charge by the product they're applying and not necessarily by the time they're spending. Because if it's a coating, I'm gonna charge more. If it's just ceramic gloss, I can't charge as much, but it takes them just as long. Your time is valuable. Your customers know that, you should know it as well. Now, of course, no detail is ever finished without tire dressing.
Ivan, why aren't more people talking about how amazing our tire dressing is?
Because it's just one of those things that they like it. They're not going to be too vocal about it. Something like ceramic gloss, everyone talks about it. Or quick beads. The tire dressing is tire dressing. And ours is particularly beautiful. I love it. It's easy to go on. It is a lot of fun. It smells nice. It doesn't sling. And it's more versatile than just your tires. We can put it on all the black trim. We can put it on the floor mats inside and know they're not going to be slippery and greasy. That's the beauty about this. It can be used all sorts of places. You've detailed your engine, you want those plastics looking beautiful, brush on a bit of tire lotion.
You mentioned sling, Ivan.
Yeah.
What does that mean for somebody who doesn't have the ability to picture that, or they've never seen tire lotion with sling? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, sling from a tire dressing is this disgusting little black dots that fly off the tire and embed themselves all the way down the paint because it's literally slinging off. Now, I'm all done everywhere, but I'm just gonna take a dry towel, one little spritz on the towel. I'm just gonna lightly go over the surface, make sure that I didn't miss anything. So like when we're applying a coating, we have our insurance towel. This is what I'm doing here. And plus, it's really fun to feel the slickness.
Don't let it fool you just because it's a spray and wipe product.
No.
Ceramic gloss is a very robust protection and gloss enhancer.
Yeah, it's gonna last several months. Durability is very much tied to how you maintain the vehicle, where you drive it, where you park it. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances that can make it last for a year or make it fail very soon. So I'm just making sure on my windows here that I got all the little corners, got the polish out of there. These beautiful sparkling windows are always fun.
Yeah, a couple of things can happen with a vehicle that gets detailed. One, you dress the tires, they pop. Two, a little more subtle, is kind of that sparkling clean glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't notice it, but it affects your whole perception of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Ceramic gloss safe on plastics as well, right, Evan?
Safe on everything automotive, inside and out. If you wanted to ceramic gloss your dash, you actually could. Now, would I? Probably not. But your navigation screen, yes. Ceramic gloss is a great use for that. Your piano black pieces inside, same thing.
Only thing I wouldn't ceramic gloss is your interior glass.
Right. You never want anything hydrophobic on your windows on the inside. Because
well, Ivan, I'm just about done. I don't know if it's a race or not, but aside from tire shine, tire lotion, my side is complete.
yeah. Have you gone over your insurance wipe?
That's what I'm doing right now.
I'm gonna use the towel that I used to dry the outside. After the ceramic gloss, one little spritz of ceramic gloss inside the door jambs and just clean them out. Dry them.
I don't feel like the question gets asked as much anymore on the Facebook groups and the forums. By the way, we have a Facebook group that you can ask whatever you want. We just ask you to keep it respectful, but there's no such thing as a dumb question. But it's, do the door jambs count on an exterior detail, or does an interior detail do? I think door jambs should always be done on every job.
Inside or out, yes. And as a professional detailer, when you're detailing a car, build it into your price that if you're just doing an interior, you'll do a quick wash on the exterior. It's so much better when the customer comes to pick up the vehicle and it's clean. I know they just paid for the inside of the vehicle, but do the outside, increase your price accordingly. Don't tell them, because then people want to bargain, well, I don't want the outside done. But when they get there and they see the inside clean and the outside dirty, they always regret it. So give them that clean interior and exterior whenever you're doing an interior package. When you're doing an exterior only package, don't touch the interior.
But you're not doing ceramic gloss, you're just washing it, right?
Yeah.
Are you dressing the tires?
No, I'm just, well, yes, I'll do a bit of tire dressing. It's like a 10, 15 minute job. It's not you're not detailing the outside, you're washing the outside.
But you would do tire dressing, interesting, okay.
Tire dressing is sort of a necessary thing.
So how do you do a wash that fast?
Well, we have videos on that, Nick.
You know, and if you're interested in a real-time wash video where Ivan demonstrates some of his tricks, I think they can watch it, Ivan.
Right there.